think we just saw a game on Mongolia the other day. I think it was. It was right in Batch Phone. I think it was on Mongolia. I'm pretty sure it was on Mongolia. I think it was on Mongolia. But anyway, I'm just going to assume it's on Mongolia. So we get Mongolia twice in a row, which is kind of interesting. Tim choosing it there to scout with the extra villager. And I should probably introduce who we've got before I start saying things that won't make sense. Alright, so in the red, we've got Tim, also known as SY Mars. Probably, I think he's ranking at like number 7 or 8 on the ladder at the moment, which is kind of cool. Definitely top 10 player. I think everyone saw that coming. Going to be interesting to see how he plays this game out and if he decides to wall or not, which there's pretty much one answer to. But we'll see, we might get surprised. And his opponent is going to be someone who, to stay in, well, character with the massacring of the names, it's kind of a tradition now. We have Hao Dao Da Shua. Shui. I don't know, we're probably just going to call him Da, just because there's a capital D and an A there. So, he's probably going to be known as Duh for the rest of the video, but we'll see how we go from there. And I don't know whether that was an accident or just sim-sitting it there, but I guess we'll see his skill as he goes up. And, well, if he's playing against Tim, he's not exactly going to be a noob, so we'll watch it out and see how we go. First thing I noticed straight away is Tim's map, extremely easy to wall, meaning he probably will. Same goes for Duh up in the top. So they've pretty much got these little circles they'll be able to wall in, and if they do that, they might be able to get some kind of harassment on the villagers from the woods, especially over here on Die. He's going to be able to be harassed in there, and over here as well. But if he decides to wall off over here, he's going to have this backwood here, which is going to be nice and safe. Tim's got the same deal, and it looks like that's what he's going for, so we should probably expect a wall off from both of them. So we'll see how this goes. Mongolia can be a bit of a tricky map, but we'll see how they decide to play it out. I don't think there's any kind of news to be reporting right now. I think Viper played another 2 games versus Jidba. Jidba won them both. Viper's at number 1 now on the Voobly ranking system, which is kind of to be expected. I think he took some time off there, which is why he went down, but as soon as he started playing again, he immediately went back to the top. Tim luring some deer in there are actually in a really nice spot, and luring deer is generally just a really smart idea. Not getting the best one there, but of course a lot better than I could do at any rate, and probably most people could do. Boar is in for Da, wood on the back. Pretty much everything's to be expected here, and Tim not putting down a million time, actually. That's kind of interesting, sending the villager all the way back. Boar coming in, probably going to give up on these deer, and yes, no loom yet either. Ooh, boar running away, that's actually pretty huge. Looks like he did something wrong there. Can do it, going over to another deer, because hell, why not? Over on this side, boar is in, loom not done, fair enough. Probably going to see loom done last, just because that's the way it goes, and in comes the boar. We should probably check out the maps before I start going into that boary dreary kind of thing. Anyway, Tim's got his gold on the front, other gold on the front as well. One down over here in the left side, a stone here, and a stone on the front. So, safe to say we won't be seeing any kind of early castle. Saying that, Tim only just getting his second boar now was definitely a good opportunity for Da to steal one, but he didn't, so there's no real point going into that now. Loom being done on 20 villages, and we might see something interesting here from Tim if he decides to go 20 pop. But then again, he's playing as Mongol, so it's pretty much normal. I don't know if I actually said that, but it's a Mongol war, so there you go. 20 pop for both of them, 20 pop scouts being pretty much the standard way to go, which also gives us a good reason to why he was luring his deer, apart from the fact that was so close. It is a Mongol war, I think I forgot to say that. Anyway, Dark going out to here now, and this could be really dangerous if Tim comes in with some scouts nice and early, which he will be. Saying that though, it's not going to be quite so early because both players are doing the exact same thing. So we'll see where that goes. Tim choosing to go onto the wood here in the front. Saying that as well, he hasn't really walled in yet, which is kind of interesting for him. Usually he's walled in from the get-go, but he's got a little bit coming up over here, which says to me he wants to, but I don't know how he's going to. Barracks coming up there. We're seeing a barracks over on this side yet. No. Let's speed things along until something interesting happens. Bit of a wall off coming up over here, and there's a barracks going to get plonked there. Potentially some houses going to come up here to try and complete a wall off. Might see some more archery ranges or something come off across here to be able to get some kind of wall off going on. Same goes for here as well, could just kind of plonk a building in there. Tim up at 934, and there's Da up as well at about 940. So looking pretty good. Stable coming up straight away. On this side, stable coming up straight away as well. It looks like Tim's stable will be up a lot quicker. Yeah, gonna have quite a few seconds on that one there. And seconds are what matter in Civ Wars. Every second your opponent is ahead of you is a second you're behind. And that statement just made way too much sense and was way too obvious, but I don't care because it's true. And wall off going down for Tim now. There we go. Pretty much to be expected. Whether or not he decides to wall off across here or here will be interesting. If he walls off across here and here, he will keep this pocket gold, which will be kind of nice. But interesting to see what he does, especially against a opponent who is walling in. Saying that he's going... I think he's going scouts. I don't think he's going to try and fast castle. Nah, he has nowhere near the resources to be able to fast castle, and I wouldn't see him being able to do it actually off 20 pop anyway. But still, there's always amazing things players are doing, and you can never close your eyes to all of them. Lots of scouts out for Tim. Looks like he's going to go forward with the 4 of them. And that one should be on its way. Because there's the 4th one there. Going to get into a little bit of resistance here. Going to be outmatched. Bring his spear forward. It looks like he's going to bring the scout forward as well. So he will be outnumbering as well as having that spearman advantage, which is absolutely huge in the early game because spears do so much damage to scouts. It's ridiculous. And if you don't pick it off first, you're in a lot of trouble. Tim, though, kind of hanging out on the top of this hill, though. Looks like he's trying to get a wall up off before he does anything. He's sufficiently walled in now, and he decided to wall this gold outside. Fair enough, could have just walled there and there, but still I guess that was kind of a bit quicker at this stage in the game. Moving forward with his spears as well as going around the back with his scouts. Not going to be able to break in here. Full stone wall right now, which is kind of interesting. Hasn't got this area over here done. Saying that, does he have enough stone to finish this off? He does not. So Tim could potentially break in over there. We'll see how they go. Spears up here, generally pretty smart idea actually attacking the stable with them, because any scout that spawns will be attacked by spears. Fair enough. How are we looking over here? Unless he's missed a piece, which it doesn't look like it. Going to be a bit of an issue. So Tim really just going to have to hold out here. And it looks like we're going to be seeing mostly a castle and late game style of play right now. Those spears going to be getting really annoying. And as well, for interesting fact, if you're getting attacked down here and a scout runs here and attacks your villager, the bell won't sound again. So there's a nice little trick you can use on your friends. Go in and just like attack a piece of wall with something, they'll get the bell. They'll be like, oh, over here, something's happening. And then you go in and attack their villagers and they can't see what's going on. Quite interesting idea. It looks like slowly actually taking down this stable, and if does, not careful, he could potentially lose it. It's actually getting quite close to that now. And nearly under 500 HP. Not 500, but under half HP. And that one village, I thought it was going to repair, but losing a scout there. You get some good picks. Only losing 1 scout, so that's not too bad. Ooh, rest of the scouts are in for Dar, but chased away by the spears right now. Ooh, spearmen actually spawning outside the barracks there. Nothing is ever good about that when it's on the wrong side, especially when she completely walled in. But this stable could be in trouble. Coming forward to repair it, finally, it looks like it's going to just survive. And spears attacking here. This could be really bad engagement for Dar, depending on how quick these spears are killed off. Same goes for Tim, though. If he doesn't carry these spears, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And it looks like that's exactly what he plans on doing here. Spear versus spear combat, something we've pretty much just grown accustomed to. And losing that one, and Dar outfighting Tim here, actually. This is kind of interesting. Tim's still keeping the score lead right now, due to the fact I'd say he's got a superior economy. But I don't think he's really too far out. Saying that as well, Tim's actually going Castle Age. And he's ahead on score right now, which means he's ahead by a lot. Like, a lot. I hope people understand how much a lot it is when I say that. Because if you're going castle, you're down on score anyway. So if you're going castle and your opponent's still under you after losing a battle like that, you've generally done pretty well. Tim kind of just getting the best for his money here. Probably not going to really take anything. And only 1 scout left, so that's pretty decent for Tim at any rate. And depends on what he wants to do now. He's gone double stable, so it looks like he's going to be transitioning into knights as soon as he hits Castle Age. The economy looks pretty prepared for knights as well. Lots of farmers and a few gold miners there. Minimal on woods, just hinting that we're not going to be seeing any cavalry archers. And the fact he hasn't got any archery ranges up as well pretty much says that to us. And knight, don't think... Going to be interesting to see if he's got bloodlines yet or not. I would assume that he has, but we will see what happens, I guess. Any armor on the way? No armor. And yes, Bloodlines has been done. The first armor upgrade has been done. Still waiting on the second. And right now, Dar's going to be in a bit of trouble until he hits Castle Age. How close is he? He started advancing, so he's not in a bad position. But Double Town Center coming up for Tim here. So he's going to go for the harassment. Well, just a little bit with these knights, because he can't really harass too much against a full Stonewalled player. But he's going to be able to stop... He's going to be able to take the map control and off that get a 3-town center boom. That's actually going to be a huge advantage for him. And Dar's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Could potentially lose his stable as well. Anyway, looks like he's probably going to go for knights as well. Haven't seen any kind of an archery range coming up. Saying that though, he has actually got a lot of villages on stone. So he either has the option here to go for a lot of town centers and try and out macro Tim, which we know Tim is just an amazing macro player. Or he can go for that castle and try and bring out the OP Mangudai, which is definitely a good option as Mongols. He doesn't seem to care about this stable, so it really says that he doesn't want to go knights. So I'll be expecting a castle. Where he puts it will be interesting. Could potentially put it here or here. Could put it on any of these hilly areas. But I think over here, just because this is an area Tim seems to be pretty much intent on busting in through. And town centers. So there we go. Town centers, then castle maybe. So town centers coming up. Going to be able to try and get that, well, not an economic edge, but catch up at this stage. Because Tim's starting to take a massive score lead right now. 500 points. He's putting a siege workshop up on this hill here as well. So he's going to push in. I don't know if Shai's going to have what it takes to actually be able to defend this. Because this push from Tim is highly aggressive and there's no military production at all for Da right now, which is just going to make life extremely hard. Especially now the fact that siege workshop's up. Going to see a mangonel out of that. Of course, stop any wall spam. Tim knows all about that. And then probably battering rams to follow. Not going to go well. Really going to need to get that castle up. Nearly have enough wood for it, but still, against battering rams, castles aren't exactly the best thing to have. Mangonels are good, but he doesn't have enough wood to put up a siege workshop, let alone get a siege workshop and a mangonel out. So this is not looking good right now at all. There we go, there's that battering ram. What do we got there? And there's a siege workshop coming up, so he does have enough wood for it now. How are we looking castle-wise? 5 more stone. If you don't spend it. What do you spend it on? Probably wall. Yep, there we go. Fair enough, and of course, forcing that wall to stop creation by getting the mangonel out. I think this is pretty much game for Tim. He's in front by 700 points right now. There's not really a lot that Da can do. And Tim really just showing here how he can put on the pressure. It's really well played by him, actually. Castle coming up. Mangonel is there. Decent mangonel trade, I guess. 1 for 1. It's a lot better than it could have been. Wall going to go down there. This wall here really needs to be quickly built. And, ooh, that was good. That was actually way too close to that battering ram. Going to be taken down by this mangonel. Pretty much the only way it's going to go. Unless Tim gets in there and snipes it first, because Da does some bad micro. Getting those villages out of there. And I reckon this is Tim's game already. Gonna be interesting to see how much further this game pushes it out. Of course, walling the relic out, because if Tim decides to just build a monastery and move it, that wall is practically useless. And Da really needs to get some units out on the field right now. Definitely has what he needs. He's got a shit ton of gold there, but not producing any units. And Mangonel is out, so we'll be able to stop that battering ram coming forward. And Castle going to prevent those knights for a bit. Once they get that second armor upgrade on them, they're really not going to be that scared. Battering ram as well, just not scared in general, but may as well be taking down houses and things. Ooh, that was a bold move there. Is he going to re-wall that? I hope he re-walls that. Yeah, he is. Alright. Not that big a deal. And Tim pretty much locked out from here. Saying that though, Tim does have a good 700 points on his opponent right now. How many town centers are we looking at? Still 3. Do we get any more from you? 1, 2, 3. No 4th, so it's pretty much equal in this. So Tim should pretty much stay ahead. And right now, Da needs to know. This is the point where you need to do something different. You can't just play a standard boom because your opponent's already started doing that. So, ooh, oh, 2 for 1 there. Very good play by Tim. Looks like he will be pushing forward with the knights, which is definitely Tim's weapon of choice. Oh, there we go. Another town center is up for Tim, as well as a castle, so he will be able to start that Mangudai production. Which is, yep, there we go. How are we doing over here? Yep, Mangudai for both players. I think Tim's going to be ahead on upgrades, but we'll see how that goes. Is he going to let it out? Or nope, build them up inside the castle. You have no upgrades. I'm going to assume Tim has at least fletching by now. He really should. Anyway, it looks like market coming up here, because why not? You've got so much gold. Well, you had so much gold, and you've got a bit of overwood now, so who knows what you want to do with all that. Second castle coming up for Da, and Tim not looking like he wants to put a second one up yet. Does have quite a few villages on stone, so we'll be able to put one up soon. Yep, 459 stone, only needing about 200 more. But until then, I think Tim's got a pretty solid lead here, about 1,000 points now, so that villager production economy of Tim just pretty much being unmatched in this game, so going to be a bit of an issue right now for Da to try and, well, hold in on this one. Monastery, it looks like he grabbed that relic. Has Tim been grabbing relics yet? Tim grabbing early relics is pretty much just kind of in his play. Everyone knows that. Doesn't look like he's gone for a monastery yet, though. Castle coming up here on this defensive position. Probably a good idea, actually, on where he put it. Overlooking the stone here to stop harassment and in pretty much some chokes. So he's got a pretty decent location on that one. More Mangadai being created. How are we doing upgrade-wise over here? Tim hitting the Imperial Age and Da hitting the Imperial Age as well. He's got the +2, probably going to get Bracer in a second. Tim not having that armor upgrade, so Da in a little bit of an advantage there getting that, but I'm sure Tim will have it any second soon. Most likely going to get Bracer first. Pushing out across here, and now this is where this hill is going to be good. Oh, Elite Mangadai already. Tim doing well for himself here. And there we go, Elite Mangadai having an extra 2 attacks. That's actually quite big. As we know, definitely a big thing to have an extra 2 attack on a unit. Especially one like the Mangadai, which is just so OP to start with, it doesn't really matter. Tim having his own little private base up over here. It looks like he got that archery range up to get Thumb Ring. Don't think we saw Thumb Ring from you yet, so Tim definitely having a good advantage in this game just with Thumb Ring. Yeah, anyway. How are we looking on upgrades? No armor upgrades. 1 armor upgrade. Hasn't got Bracer yet, got Bracer. No chemistry. Both plays on Elite Mangadai now, and it looks like Tim's going to push out. However, saying that, Da does have the hill here, and it looks like he has the numbers as well, so he's probably going to be forced back here. No, Tim is going to fight. I think Tim realized he had this extra bit of attack and bracer, so he may as well go for it. Killing off a lot of village, and just GG from Da. GG there. Wow, if we look at the scores though, Tim taking such a good economic lead right now. And this is things we don't generally see in the games outside the cast, which is probably one of the reasons this is such a good example. The economy wins games. Your economy wins games. Just like that. Simple as that, your economy can win games. If you're that far ahead, you've got such good positioning right now, you can't even push in, your opponent can't even push out. He's losing all his villagers here. All you're going to have to do is just push through here. There's nothing they can do. All they can do is sit in this little area here and just inevitably wait for death. So definitely some smart play by Tim though, and games we don't generally see on this channel, just straight economy pushes which really just knock him out of the game. Saying that, Tim actually having the +3 armor on those Mangadais already, and to his opponent's +1, so definitely the advantage going to Tim, and I think at this point, just Da had noticed this, and judging by the scores, he knew he was out of the game. Wasn't really a lot he could do, so I hope you enjoyed it. Something really different, which is interesting. So I'll see you in the next one.